Okay, attempt number 3 of this recording. This is fantastic. It's actually past the due date, or time now, by like 10 minutes, so that sucks. But it didn't finish uploading until way after then, and I hit play and there's no audio, so that's cool. Um, since I have the server running right now on my DMX thing, I don't want to mess with it, so I'm just gonna play the recording that didn't have audio and talk over it. So here I am, about an hour ago at this point. Running it saying, hey, you look at the top left, I'm in AWS, and then that's my Windows console bottom right. Run Gradle server with a designated port, starts running, and it executes, and it's going to sit there and it's going to wait. Now the client is going to target the same port, 9099, and the host of that AWS instance. I don't know why I'm pointing because you can't see where my hand is. So the host it's going to go for is right there, which is the public IP for my AWS instance. And then as soon as that starts running, before it connects, it's going to ask you for a name. I just did my name. It says, hey, welcome to TypeMaster. What would you like to do? And it has 3 options as required. Up here, you can see it starts a new logs file, and it gets my connection and says, hey, this is Ethan. He just connected at this time from this time zone. From there, I think I scroll up a little bit to show like past runs real quick. Like up there, it shows leaderboard, and then a bit up there, like when it chooses quit, then it terminates nicely. But I didn't want to do that right now since I was going to go through it. So since that was the case, I'm going to go ahead and go into the game. Uh, right here, so it starts to go. It goes turn by turn, and every turn asks you to enter a different character. So you can see here the joke's being revealed because last time it was S and that's what it wanted. Now I'm going to go through saying, hey, please type B, L, so and so. And each time I do that, more and more of these tiles flip over, eventually revealing the whole thing. So then I just kind of speed run to finish the game here. Why don't eggs tell jokes? They'd crack each other up, They're there. And then as soon as you do that, it's done. It takes me back to the main menu, and you can see up here that whole progression of I connected, I started a new game, I won the game, and then I was sent back to the main menu. That's what I'm pointing to here now. And my name is still Ethan. And up here it even says what the client answered as like a debugging thing. And it says who is starting their game when that starts. So like there it said Ethan was beginning. And then here, you do that leaderboard, task leaderboard, Ethan. I had max wins. And then I just gonna cut out of here so that we can start talking about the code. So going into the code more now. Am I going into the code? I don't remember what I'm saying here. Oh, yeah, it disconnects the player and then returns to the waiting state for the server. So when we get into here, you'll see this is the client and this is the server, both using protobuf, obviously going back and forth. Going off the best of my memory here, right here, this is the builder for the first response, getting ready, and this is the first leaderboard entry. The leaderboard, unfortunately, doesn't persist, like, across people. Like, if it were to shut down or, like, the server were to fail or restart, that wouldn't work. Every time the server's running, that's all it's going to stay. So that's really, really nice. From there, you go through and every time you win you can be added though. So then that's the first one. You can see like putting the basic entry up there. So when it gets the name from that initial connection I showed, it's going to give the personalized response, and then from there it's going to go into the series of like different breaks I had based on um, what I'm targeting. So name, greeting, clear this real quick just so it's not a hassle. So then I get the first request from the client after that based off of the main menu. This is a try catch block for if there's issues or if they randomly disconnect and that causes that. Down here you can see I'm pointing at new and leader. Leader up there prints out the board with that's the whole struct system based off of the protobuf where it's setting the leader based off of the new entries I create either when you win the game or my default one, and it's sending them out, and those are gone through in a for each loop and printed out on the client side for myself. If it's new, as in starting a new game, it sends a message on the server saying so and so is starting their game. This is the random generation system for the characters, and it goes through saying, hey, here's your problem. Don't look at the keyboard, do your best. And then it receives their answer. It's going to go ahead, it's going to store that, it's going to check it. Again, try catch block for in case a connection was lost. Um, Goes through, I have the fancy system of taking the entire length of the image and breaking it up into eighths. That way, when there's at least 8 answered, it'll go through that. That way, like, the neat and clean way of making sure it's evenly distributed to show the whole image at the end, or joke, what have you, while also like having that one requirement that I was talking about, a creative way of doing it. Cool. You can see into here after it gets the question, there's going to be, if, hey, we got an answer back from this request, it's going to break that down. It's going to check it against the question quest. So if it is correct and it's equivalent with the types, it's going to say, hey, you were asked this, and evaluate, you were right. So then it's going to write out an updated image as well as that response saying, hey, good job. And then it's going to increment the tracker I have for tasks correctly answered, and that replace call is for the censoring. Down here, if it isn't correct, you're going to see there is no replacement, there is no increment. It's going to say, hey, you were asked this, it wasn't correct, false. Don't worry about it, there's no punishments. It's going to jump back up, and you're going to get back into that loop of getting the question and going, going, going. You stay in that until, let's see if, where did I do it? Oh, it was right there. Sorry for how scuffed this is. This is kind of embarrassing. Yeah, so up here is the connection and stuff. Down here, you can see when it gets out, if it's quit, this is what it does. It has a nice little farewell message, says, hey, goodbye, so and so, see you again soon, hope you had fun. And up here you can see after a win, it adds a leader to the leaderboard, game set 1, write to log, hey, this person won. That's the response type is a win message. They get the image, and that's the original one, and it's blah blah blah, congrats. Yeah. So that is, yeah, that's my overview. You can see down there closing stuff out, and that is about it. Thank you. Sorry about the video quality.